Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is the 7th video on named item using Office script. And in this video we are going to learn how to use this getType method in real automation. Okay, so in my last video, on the 6th video, we have talked about what we need to know about this getType method, and I would suggest you to watch that video before diving into this video. So basically we had printed out all those named range details, right? So named item details, so this XLFN error, name error, and so on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a validation here. So if this current name dot get name, it will be a string, right? Dot starts with underscore XL, because those are built-in ones, XL, right? Then I just don't want to see that details in this section. So I'll just run this again. Now you can see it's add to number, error, and lambda, and so on. So that's the first thing. Now let's suppose we are creating an automation that, okay, I want to find out all the places where it's referencing to a range, and maybe I want to colorize it, or maybe I want to copy the value, or maybe I want to create one sheet with those value, and so on. It can be anything, right? You can see one example on this section. It says this script looks for every name range with review in the name and marks the range with a yellow fill. Okay, so maybe we can use that example as well. Let's suppose I want to find out all those name ranges which has, let me find out. So let me just add another condition here, that if current name dot get type, if it's not, excel script dot named item type dot range. Okay, if it's not a range type, then just continue that. So let me just, now let's run this again. Get language, we get range error, and then we get spill range. That's those three, right? So we can see the name is spill range and this name is range error. So let's say if the name range contains range keyword, then I want to highlight. Okay, so in that, what can I do is that, okay, if you can see I already have used this get type once, that I want to run this automation only if it's a type of range, right? So if it's not, then just exit this, like continue with other names. So I can just say, okay, to add another validation, that if this name contains, right? So get name dot includes, I guess. Yep. Now range, then let's say, let me just print out this console.log and name dot get name. I'll just hide, uncomment this part. So let's run this again. Now you can see range error and spill range, right? Now I want to show you one interesting thing in this place, that let's see the address of those name range, right? Current name dot get range dot get address, right? So it should print the address of those name range. Now you can see it's a range error, but it says cannot read property of undefined reading get address. So that was the bug I was talking about in my 5th video, and we had a lot of validation that, okay, if it's actually referencing to a range or not, and this is due to the spill range issues. Okay, so in that particular 5th video, I could use getType method to check if it was actually a range or not. Okay, and that validation that, okay, I was parsing out the formula. So I was parsing out the formula and splitting the sheet name and range address, and then using that sheet name and workbook to get the worksheet, and then get the range, and then check if it's a valid range or not. So that I could use on this section. Okay, so that's one thing. I'm not going to talk about all the details in this video. I would suggest you to watch that video. Okay, so that's one thing that we need to watch out. If it's a spill range, so just careful about this one. So what I'll do, I'll just add another validation, and this current name dot get formula ends with, so ends with that pound sign, that means it's a spill range. Then I want to ignore that, right? So what I'll just do, I'll just add a negative sign here. Now if I just run this again, then you can see I get this range error only. Okay, now I can just highlight that color actually. So I can just say current name dot get range dot get format dot, let's say, get fill dot set color. You can say, okay, so it says in the format or orange, let's say it as a orange. Let's run this, and you can see it put the color as orange. So that's how we can use this name range. Okay, so it's not limited to just coloring this range, it could be anything. It depends on your business cases. Okay, but you can see that we can have this kind of validation that, okay, if it's a range type, then only do this particular automation, otherwise just ignore that name range. So we had another way to do that using macro type. So name range VBA. We learn, search for this one. So you can see refer to name range. So let's see. Okay, sorry. This one is the VBA documentation for that name. And if you look at these properties, then you'll see this macro type, and it says return or set the name refers to Excel m macro type. So you can say Excel command, Excel function, and Excel not Excel m. So this is custom command and custom function. So that is basically this underscore Excel fn, that is the function, underscore Excel pm, those are Excel command. So that was a way we can identify if it's a built-in name range or not using VBA, but I cannot find any method for that one in Office script documentation. So let me know if you have any question or if you have any suggestion. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and have a good day.